It's like, okay, hold. Nope, not gonna happen.
Nope.
Welcome to Talking Heads, everyone. Episode 398, your once-weekly live show for the latest in beer and tech news. I'm Jeff.
John.
Welcome to the show, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining on this Wednesday night or in podcast form over on Spotify or wherever your favorite podcasts are found. If you've never seen the show before, we talk beer, we talk tech, we talk games, pop culture, entertainment, sometimes some Star Trek. All super chats are run on the air so long as they will not permanently demonetize the channel. We do drink alcohol in the show, and if you're drinking along with us, alcoholic or not, let us know in the chat, and we'll give some early show shoutouts as we go along. Last but not least, if you'd like to take part in the super secret chat or the even more super secret after party, think about joining the Patreon. Link is down in the video description. As a bonus, you'll get exclusive access to my Discord server where you can chat with myself, John, Rhett, Steve, all the hosts from Talking Heads, and join the awesome community that hangs out over there.
I always feel like a flight attendant doing like hand motions while you're talking. It's always the same. You're like, oh, comments down below.
Right.
Oh, talk to the ghost. Exits are here and here.
I totally see that. Please pour your own beer before pouring the beer of the person next to you. I should rewrite that like a flight attendant safety monologue.
Yeah. Nice. All right.
Jordan says he's drinking too much for a Wednesday. That depends. What do you have on Thursday?
Yeah.
It might be just the right amount.
Yeah.
Speaking of drinking, I have a new item that's going to be added to the craft computing store here before too long.
Yeah?
So I have some new glassware that has been very, very much requested by multiple people. One of my favorite types of pints are the pints that look like cans.
Oh, yes.
And there's a number of people, probably the number one person I've heard it from is Skull, our longtime moderator down in the chat, who actually guest hosted on the show a couple of weeks ago. But he finally convinced me to go out and get some can glassware and see if I can engrave it. The good news is it does engrave, and it's wonderful.
Oh, look at that.
I just took the pattern that's on our normal pint and put it on here, and the engraving is absolutely perfect, including the nucleation site on the bottom.
Oh, nice.
I have some plans for this, and this is kind of a soft announcement of this, and I'm also going to tell John live for the first time what I plan on doing, because it kind of involves you guys. I'm going to make a 4-pack of can art that are reminiscent of our favorite styles of beers.
Okay.
So it's going to be like the Hops and Brews IPA. It's going to be like the El Polo Diablo barley wine. It's going to be the Craft Computing Barrel-Aged Stout or something. And then maybe...
the PBR Ret.
And then the Retnier lager.
Oh, yes. I was going to say Ret. As soon as you said it, I was like, oh, no, it's Rainier. Yeah, the Retnier. That's great. I like
so
that.
I'm gonna do a can art for all of us, and it'll be like, you know, half can art, and then like, you know, fun facts or like nutrition facts on the other side of it. I need to find out like how small of a font I can get on there and still have it readable. How much information do I put on there? Do we have different label information for each beer? Is it just all the same? Like, you know, how much detail do we put into this?
Yeah. No, I like that. That's awesome. That's funny.
But Retnier, I was pretty proud of.
Retnier's perfect.
Yeah. But yeah, I figure if, especially for fans of Talking Heads, let's make some official Talking Heads merch. Let's get a 4-pack of cans that you can take home.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's funny.
So that's my idea there. Yeah, that sounds amazing. Vince says R, gotta be Retnier. Yeah. Jordan's shitty Pilsner. Yeah, it could probably be something with that. So Retnier alert. Nice. Make sure to mark the ABV on the Retinier at 2.5.
Yes.
Yeah.
IBU at like 4.
Yeah. Retinier is just the Morrowind logo. I did consider doing like a Silt Strider IPA or something like that for Ret. But no, I settled on Retinier and went, well, that's just what it is. That has to be it. So I was thinking like doing an R for a logo, or doing just like maybe even do like a Mount Hood, because we're all in Oregon. You know, do Mount Hood instead of Rainier for the can art. But some kind of silhouette like that. For Steve, El Polo Diablo, I wanted to take a non-Disney, because his icon on Discord is Hey Hey from Moana screaming at the top of his lungs.
Yeah.
So I need to do like a non-Disney chicken that I can put onto the beer can. But I need to. I was thinking like El Polo Diablo Brewing or something like that, and then give it a fun name of a barley wine. I was thinking for you the hops and brews like Bunny Hop IPA, or like just kind of figure out how to do that. So
yeah, that would be fun. There's probably a time, hopefully soon, that we could all even chat about it and think about it.
Yes. This isn't official yet, but episode 400 is coming up. That's kind of a big deal, and every 100 episodes we tend to get together and try to do a big episode with it. Episode 400, that's almost 8 solid years of shows. Like, that's insane. To think we started this back in 2017 and really have only missed like 6 weeks in all of that. Like, we've done almost every show, almost every week. No Socials Barley Wine. Ooh, I like that. Skull. for Steve, who has no social media presence. The No Socials Barley Wine. But so for episode 400, we're trying to get everyone together. Episode RTX 4000. I do have an RTX 4000. I just bought it. It's out in the garage. For episode 400, I think we're going to skip Wednesday, because I want to open some really big beers, and a lot of them.
Yes.
So I think we're going to move that show, instead of from September 17th, we're going to move that to Saturday. And I think we're going to start maybe about 4 p.m. We're trying to confirm all the details, but the idea is to get everyone over to my place so we can all bring like 2 bombers or a number of like big beers and do like a bottle share and do just taster glasses and let everyone taste everything. So we're all drinking the same beer, we're all in the same place, and literally just hang out until we run out of beer.
Yeah, no, sounds good.
Yeah. But for right now, I figure I'm gonna inaugurate the new glassware with one of my all-time favorites. Ooh. I've got an Nkasi Megalodon.
That's a great beer.
10% IPA. What's nice about the can glasses, is they are 16 ounce, but you can heavy pour a 12 ounce and it's about perfect. So, there we go.
Nice.
Bring your own IV bag, says Skull. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going that big, but I am, and I'm doing a little bit lighter, but I'm doing a whole 16 ounce. So it's, I don't know what brewing this is from. Oh, Hidden Springs Ale Works, and it's their Jedi Mind Tricks. There we go.
That's nice.
Dragon fruit sour.
Nice.
I'll be pouring it in a classic.
Oh yeah, going old school.
Going old school with this one.
I guess that's the next question: when's Capital Tap Room coming back?
When I have time.
Allison says, no, move this one to episode 404. I think 404 is going to be the morning after, because I don't know if any of us will actually remember it.
Yeah, I don't know how. Just leave the camera going on live stream as we're walking around, stumbling across.
Yeah. Yeah, for that show, I also said, make sure you bring transportation other than yourself, because none of us will be able to drive after this. Or I have the camper out in the driveway, so we need to toss 3 of you into there and let you drop where you will.
Oh, yes. 3 40-year-old plus men.
Yeah.
Just sitting there spooning each other.
There's 3 separate beds in the camper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a tent trailer, and so there's one on each side, plus the table converts. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right can have the table.
Yeah, I wouldn't make you guys spoon with each other. Yeah. I mean, you can if you want. It's totally up to you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, let's see. Do we have any beer shout-outs to get to?
I saw some at the beginning. Jason is actually having the citrus version of the Megalodon, 10%. So he called it citrus triple, but it's actually, if you look on the back, Jason, it says Megalodon, and it's the citra version.
Yeah, it's way under there, but it says Megalodon right there.
I know. I don't like the new design.
Cans. Yeah,
I know. It's like, why would you call it that? Why would you call it a prehistoric animal? Where is it? How am I supposed to know that? It's like, it's so cool.
Yeah.
Some of the best can art.
Yep.
And then Rev is the Triple Lush IPA from Fremont Brewing from Reverend. But I thought that was another one.
Novella's got a Trillium from the Streets Triple IPA, 10%. Lots of triples going around tonight.
I know. Terra Pup is having a A&W Diet Root Beer. Cheers to that. I can't drink coffee.
Yeah, and that's about all I see.
Yeah. John J. Long Live Beer Works is an IPA Imperial Double, hazy 8%.
Michael just chimed in with a Dragon's Milk. Good classic beer.
Did you get the bomber, or did you get just a nice little 12-ounce?
I got just the nice little 12-ounce for my Megalodon. Dragon's Milk, yeah.
For Michael,
yeah.
Dragon's Milk.
Yeah, Michael, did you get the 12 or the 22? Like, are we going big tonight, or are we just going?
Yeah.
Let's see. Skull's got a Black Stack and Toppling Goliath collab. The Land Before Time New England IPA. 7.4%. 4.19 on Untapped. And Mark says it's only 1 p.m. in New Zealand, and I work in a school, so it's only Coke Zero. That's totally allowed.
Yeah. Wait, that's like lunchtime. That's fine.
You're right. Yeah. Oh. So, as much as I've been trying to avoid the subject sometimes in Talking Heads, because it seems every bit of news is AI related, I try to lean out of it for some shows. This show was like, nah, every single note that comes across my desk this week is all AI. So this is almost an all AI show. Although if we do get into the weeds a little bit and we find a side tangent, we absolutely will take it. But some interesting stories. And 3 companies in 3 very different positions when it comes to AI deployments. And I said in the title that it's 3 companies going through the 5 stages of grief. Because we have a San Francisco tech company saying they saved 4,000 jobs by implementing AI. We have 911 call centers that are so understaffed they're considering turning to AI to answer calls. And Taco Bell is rethinking their AI deployment after a man orders 18,000 waters and a whole bunch of people have been trolling the system in general. I actually do have a personal story about the Taco Bell drive-through AI because I encountered one in the wild and I was
Really
not all that thrilled with it. Yeah. So let's dive in.
Let's do it.
San Francisco tech CEO. Let's just say Salesforce. So Salesforce, largest employer in San Francisco. They have 76,000 employees globally. But obviously they have a pretty large investment in AI, and they've been utilizing AI in their business for the last couple of years. And their CEO, what was it? Mark Bainoff. That's right. Mark Bainoff spoke to the Logan Bartlett show this last Friday and said that AI had enabled him to rebalance his headcount in the customer support division by trimming 4,000 jobs. We've reduced it from 9,000 heads to about 5,000 because I need less heads, Bainoff said. Now, this is the kind of success story that tech CEOs and companies are after. Because when people say AI is going to save us money, the investment in AI, spending literally $1 billion in AI is going to save us money, what that means is it's going to cost us $1 billion this year. But if we can lay off $400 million worth of payroll every year, then that's a YOY, our return on investment of 2.5 years. And with less employees, that also frees up HR. It allows you to shrink your HR staff as well. It allows you to shrink all your other departments because there's not people in the departments anymore. All you're supporting is the AI infrastructure, right? Well, reading into this a little bit further, that's not entirely true. They didn't replace 4,000 jobs with AI. They put those 4,000 people to work elsewhere in the company, which is why Salesforce hasn't announced a layoff of 4,000 people in the last 2 years. They restructured their internal system, taking away from basically their button mashers on phones, people whose job it was to sit in a call center and call back on any leads, to basically robocall. That's where they saved 4,000 people. But they took those 4,000 people and moved them into direct customer support positions, and also moved them more to engineering, they spread them out throughout the company. But they didn't drop 4,000 from their payroll. Now, if you're someone like me, or someone who has a soul, that's actually great news, because that means 4,000 people didn't lose their job to AI. That's fantastic. Unfortunately, what that means for the company is they spent $1 billion on AI and didn't save a penny.
Well, I mean, they might in other ways, as far as AI,
right?
In terms of working, because they can do the AI algorithm and everything can work overtime, can work longer hours, can be up, throughout the day. I don't know the exact hour if it was like a 24-hour service that these employees are doing, because it sounds more like this is customer service based, the first maybe 1 or 2 layers of you call and it's the customer service, and then you're like, give me an actual person, and it does seem like they're still going for the more complex is going to be an actual person,
right?
But yeah, it can still save you. This is nice that they're like, hey, if you want a job, I got you a job right here.
Mhm.
You're not fired. We're just moving you into a different department. So maybe they're thinking it's just a longer term in saving and return on investment, in that the production of that department can run longer and more efficient, thus saving them maybe 20-30% within the year, and it's going to take them 5-10 years, whatever, to recoup. But it will recoup, and then therefore it's easier to grow. Don't know. I mean, that is an option, or maybe that's how they're seeing it, or how they mathematically played it out to think of it, or they're just going to up the cost of some of their services, and then be like, oh look, let's up it at 10%. No one's going to notice because of whatever. We'll just say we're getting you better services or an upgrade, and that's the cost of doing business, and that's how we recoup. Don't know.
Yeah. But the title of this story was, replaces 4,000 workers with AI.
Oh, yeah. But they did. Well, kind of.
In 2024, Salesforce laid off 1,000 people, and in 2025, they have not announced to the FTC any significant layoffs. And you have to announce layoffs of more than 50 people if you're a publicly traded company. And so there have been no mass layoffs at Salesforce in 2025, but this article is trying to say otherwise. And what I'm getting out of this is less the success story of AI that a CEO would want to read, or a shareholder might want to read, because less people involved means less overhead, means less payroll, means less people. But that's not what Salesforce is actually doing. There's still almost the same number of people. I mean, 1,000 people is a lot of jobs, but even at 76,000 employees, it's less than 2%. It's 1.5% of their workforce. Like, that's not a huge correction. And so I see this more as AI isn't there yet. Because if AI was truly there, if AI was truly doing the work of these 4,000 people, those 4,000 people would be out of the job. This wasn't
no, I mean, AI is nowhere near there. I don't think it is, but to me, this just sounds like, again, some fancy wordplay of saying we just put a robot, not a robot caller, but a call service, and it's a robot that you have to interact with and that's what we did. Where before it was human interactions, and then now there's still people physically there, but what have we always said? AI is a tool right now,
right? And
that's all it does. It lets one person do the job of maybe 2 or 3 if it's managed correctly for these type of tasks. Sure,
I don't think you can even double. I mean, there are certain circumstances. This video isn't out yet, but I was in San Jose a couple of weeks ago, talking to a company about how AI is actually being implemented. Where is it being implemented? What software is being used? And the answer for how is it being used predominantly did not replace people or even augment workloads. Probably the best augmentation of a workload that I saw was in loss prevention and security. That you could, if you caught a person this was the example, if you caught a person shoplifting, you can then query your AI that is monitoring your security camera feeds and say, when was this person in my store last? How many times have they been in my store? Show me every instance of this person walking into my store, their behavior, analyze it, all that kind of stuff. And you can get your answers back in a couple of minutes because AI is constantly watching. And if you feed it a photo, take a photo of this person, you can then say, when's the last time you saw this person? And even if you're not actively searching for it, you can retroactively search for that data. And so whereas it might be, hundreds of hours of research for a single person to comb through video footage to find instances of that person walking into a store, You can ask an AI, and 2 minutes later, you have every time this person has walked into your store. Now, that information still needs to be vetted because the AI is still making its best guess. So there's still, a dozen hours or so to comb through everything and go, oh, yes, this is indeed that person, positive ID. But in circumstances of like retail, like self-checkouts and whatnot, like self-checkouts are getting a lot better, but it still requires an employee to manage self-checkout systems. It's and even more than that, it requires IT staff support to manage the systems themselves outside of the customer service. And so what I came away with was there's a lot more augmentation going on, and there's a couple specific circumstances where it can do the work of 30 people. Like, it can take away weeks of workload from a single user. But that single user is still going to be responsible for making sure that work gets done. It's not like you can, not hire security people because you have AI watching your security. That's not the way that works. It's not like you can fire all your cashiers because, you have self-checkouts now. No, there still needs to be an employee there who can take care of edge cases, provide customer assistance where needed, provide assistance where needed, for disabilities or people who may not have mobility or the ability to interact with self-checkout systems. There's a whole host of reasons why employees still need to be present at the checkout counter.
I think a lot of times too, businesses will use the term AI just to sound fancy and do stuff, to basically just say it's a chat bot, or it's a bot that does this already algorithm, and they'll just like, oh, it's AI, and it's really just already one of the chat bots that's been out there forever, and it just has a better language model, and that's all it is. It's not a all around artificial intelligence that knows everything about it. It's like, no, it's only good for these 3 things, and that's all it knows. And they're like, well, let's slap AI on it, and then that way it sounds cool, and our investors think it's good, and therefore our company grows. And I almost wonder if this could have been like an investor play of being like, look, we cut and we're being innovative. So look, all of our investors, we're doing something cool. So, graph go up.
Right.
Even though we kept everyone or majority of the people. But yeah, no, it's just to say the self-checkout analogy was actually the one I was going to use too, was like, you still need someone there to do things. But that was also, it's like, it does the work of, you can have it help you out, be the one person can do the work of 4 checkout stands majority of the time for the smaller loads. That's why they usually limit them to like 15 items. But then you do a larger, more precise thing, you need that specialist. The hands-on guy who knows who's been trained very well, and that way the algorithm doesn't mistake it. I mean, how many times have I typed in a code into self-checkout? It's like, oh, that's not in the database, and currently registered with our product because it's a brand new vegetable or something. The code isn't in there. And it's like, oh, we got to go hand type this in, or the sale, the barcode is not picking up the sale that was supposed to be there, or my coupon or whatever.
Right. Mike says, I find the checkouts, even the automated ones, so many menus and next, and I should be able to walk in, drop my exact change, and everything should be cool. That's the theory. And there are automated systems out there, including touchless checkout systems. Amazon has experimented with this in quite a few markets. There's been a couple other pop-up shops. I know I've seen videos of some Chinese shops doing this. Of basically, you have an account with this store. You check into the store with a QR code out front. And this is like a little pop-up convenience store. But you basically scan a QR code on your phone. It then gives you access to the store. It links you to your credit card. And any item that you go and grab and put in your basket and then walk out of the store with, it'll charge you for on the way out. And so the act of simply putting something into your bag is the act of purchasing. And then it adds everything up, including knowing if you put items back, and charges you on your way out the door. And for some situations, it does work. The problem is you have to be so selective with, there's such an insane amount of setup for the machine vision and the variance of items in a store to enable that to work. Because think of how often soda cans change labels, or beer cans change labels on the same product for the same item. Think of how many different revisions of chip bags that you've seen,
special editions, the Christmas version, the holiday
versions, or whatever else, or summer giveaways for on chip bags, or
movie themed, celebrity basketball themed ones, whatever, endorsed by them.
A new athlete on the Wheaties box. That is new information on a new set of parameters that has to be programmed and accounted for within a machine vision algorithm. And so there's an insane amount of backlog and back work that goes into adding a single item to that store. And it really will only work with items of like a regular shape and size. It can probably identify a head of lettuce, but can it tell the difference between romaine and leaf?
Or cabbage and iceberg.
From a distance, can it tell a difference between a lime and an avocado? With certainty, because you have to be certain, because those items are $4 apart. You have to be certain that a user grabbed a lime and put it into their basket and didn't grab an avocado and put it into the basket, or vice versa.
How does it know between organic and non-organic?
Mm-hmm. Right. So yeah, there's things that you still have to manually input or skew. There is a store in my area that has a semi-automated system. Because we're all familiar with the self-checkouts, where you literally scan the barcodes and weigh your things and enter them all in and everything else, and then you put them in the bag and unexpected item in bagging area and all that BS.
All that.
There's a semi-automated system, and this is I see this at convenience stores sometimes, where they have like a little platform that you can simply drop all your items in, and it adds them all up. And then you tap your card and you pick them all up. And that is using machine vision and weight sensing to basically add up the weight of your expected purchase, verify your purchase with machine vision. So you set your 2 cans of energy drinks and a banana and a bag of chips down on the platform, and it goes boop, 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 done. We recognized everything. Your total's, $13.82. And you tap your card, and it says, thank you for your purchase, and you grab all your items. That's a really cool system, but that still relies on regularly shaped and expected items to be scanned. It doesn't know what to do with an unknown item. You have to program all that into the back end. So it's very labor intensive. It's very specific. It requires a lot of hardware. It requires, instead of a dumb terminal or a mini PC with a barcode reader for a checkout system, you've got 4 4K webcams, a weight sensor, and some kind of GPU accelerated backend that's live interpreting all this data. It's very processing intensive to do it with a level of accuracy that you can put out for customers to interact with. So,
yeah, there was DDO, and it says in Denmark there's a system that you can scan a barcode on the product itself with your phone, then just go to the counter and be like, okay, I tap and pay. Walmart has something similar to that, and it's horrible because it's wrong most of the time. Also, there's really nothing stopping you from deleting something and then walking off with it. There's still the person who has to physically check it, you know. So that's hard. You need something to always be watching in case there's mischief at hand, and the system will always be abused.
Right.
So, so how do you account for checks and balances? So,
how do you account for user error or errors in your own system? Because your machine vision system is not going to be perfect. Like I said, lime versus avocado, one type of lettuce versus another. Organic versus non-organic. Like, how do you account for errors within a system? There has to be customer service on staff. There has to be someone there to interact with to solve customer problems. You can't just charge someone money and then not deal with an issue. So yeah, lots of unknowns still, and there are systems that are getting better. There are getting we are getting better at a lot of things, but it still requires an immense amount of processing power. David says, I call BS. We've been teaching these systems what items look like, one CAPTCHA at a time for years at scale. Yes, you are correct. But like I said, is the system necessarily going to know at the larger level, the difference between a lime and an avocado, if you are doing a touchless system. So in the Amazon example or the Chinese market example, you're talking about cameras that are 10 feet away from a source, or from the item that it's supposed to be identifying. I know that webcams are good enough that I could do this to my camera and it goes, oh, you have a Hop Valley cryo stash in front of you, or this is a banana and this is a lime, and like, I know up close, in ideal circumstances with good lighting, I know those systems are very, very good at identifying objects. The problem is, if you have a customer who, let's say, grabs a lime out of the lime bin and puts it in their thing, and then decides they don't want a lime anymore and puts it back in a different spot. Does a camera know that the lime is in that spot and that a lime has been picked up and put into someone else's bag? What happens when they go and weigh their items? What happens when a manufacturer changes a label and that label change is not integrated into the system yet? Because machine vision can only know what it is trained on. Ninkasi, a couple years ago, famously changed their labels. They used to be like all dinosaur can wraps, and now they're these very plain with an N. You need to scan these in, and you need to account for your vision system being able to interpret this is the new item, but it's the same SKU as the old item. Yeah, they put barcode stickers on fruits, but that's not a touchless system. A touchless system is put it in your bag, walk away. Machine vision isn't good enough for that yet. In the vast majority of things where we're not buying regularly shaped or sized items. I know machine vision is good enough where at 10, 15 feet away, it can identify that a box of checks is on the shelf, and I grabbed a box of checks. Like, that's fine. Resolution is good enough for that now. It's not good enough 10 feet away and I'm holding an item in my hand. Is that a lime or an avocado?
Yeah.
We did get a super chat from Green, and this is actually a question that dates back multiple years, but is also based on my cloud gaming stuff. So thank you for the super chat, Green. Have you looked into Steam Cafe or bulk license sharing? Unless running bring your own license or QR sign-in, maintaining 16 licenses of Halo sounds exhausting. So this is referring to doing a multi-seat cloud gaming setup or a LAN gaming setup hosted off a single server. Yes, actually, I used to run a VR arcade. and we had a 2-seat license set up for my 2 different stations. Yes, I have run. It was Steam Arcade, I think is what it was called back in the day, but now I believe it's called Steam Cafe. If you don't want to deal with bring your own license, bring your own game install, then you need to provide a license yourself. Steam has actual provisions for that, because when you buy a game on Steam, much like buying a Blu-ray or a DVD off the shelf for a video, you have a license to use that in your own home non-commercially. You purchase a non-commercial license for the game software that you buy, just like you purchase I can't buy a Blu-ray and then go rent a theater and then charge admission to go see that. That is a violation of your license agreement for your Blu-ray discs. Much like every studio would happily sell you a commercial license in the multiple thousands of dollars to play videos commercially or as part of advertising or anything like that. Steam will sell you a shareable community license, a commercial license that you can rent out on stations that you own. And there's multiple different implementations of that. And it depends on the game publisher and developer themselves on how they implement it. Sometimes they charge the same amount and they just say, yeah, you could use our game, whatever, we don't care. Sometimes it is a different amount. It's a more expensive purchase. So a game might be $500 to buy a commercial license for, because you are probably going to be advertising the fact that you have the latest Call of Duty in your game library at your internet cafe. And if you're going to be making money off this product, off this licensure, they want their cut of that. And that's fair. There's also ones that license based on time, that are basically like rentals of the software, where you will pay a dollar amount per hour that software is in use in your cafe. And I had to deal with all three of those situations in my 9 months that I ran this this studio. So yeah. I haven't delved into that because I'm not doing this commercially. All my cloud gaming stuff has been just for fun or in-home use. The fun part might come with potentially opening up my server in my colo to the internet at large, or at the very least to my Discord subscribers, like I mentioned in my V100 video. That'll probably end up being a BYO license situation, because I'm not going to buy a commercial license so you can play Steam on my hardware.
Yeah. What? Come on.
Yeah.
I don't want to buy it. You know, I don't know if I like this beer.
Really?
Yeah, passion fruit and dragon fruit. It's kind of given me I have an upset stomach with. I'm pretty sure it's a kettle sour, and it's just like super acidic, you know?
Yeah.
You know, like one of those really bad sours. I don't know.
Interesting.
It's a 4 on a tap, but Megalodon's always solid choice, but this not so much.
Yeah. By the way, we mentioned Megalodon swapping their label. How could they get rid of this? Thank you, John, for posting that. This used to be the old label on this can.
Yeah.
Which one would you rather buy?
Yeah. And that came in the big 16.9 ounce cans too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, sick.
I found it in 19.2 a couple of times too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, sometimes my local store will have Megalodon in the 19.2s for like $4.
Yeah.
Triple IPA, $4. Yes, please. Every time.
Yeah, almost 20 ounces.
Yeah. As it was, the reason I bought this was because it was a 6-pack of 12 ounce for $10.
Oh, yeah.
I went, yes, every single time, yes.
yeah, the local Fred Meyer to my work was having a sale on Ninkasi's Imperial pack, which has Megalodon. So it's a
Nice.
12 pack, 3 Megalodons, all of their 3 Imperial IPAs, $15 for a 12 pack
That ain't bad.
of everything Imperial.
Jeez.
I bought 2 of them.
Yeah, because that also has the Tricerahops, and
did I get muted?
Oh.
Or did you?
Oh, hold on.
It's probably me.
No, I can still hear you.
No, I can't hear. Yay.
Okay, then it's you. So
I have. Oh, there you are.
okay, so I can hear you. So
Oh, I couldn't hear you.
okay,
I
interesting.
thought
Okay,
it was me. Weird.
don't scare me like that.
Yeah,
I don't care if you can hear me. I'll just talk over you.
That's weird. I was like, I don't know why I'm synced.
Cosworth says for his machine vision setup, he's doing some stuff with Home Assistant and security cameras and whatnot. And he's actually got some GPU backed AI for object detection and things like that. He says, I am yet to get my custom models to recognize my dogs as dogs and other dogs as dogs. Well, the problem is your dog is not quite dog shaped. He has 2 English bulldogs. So,
those are good dogs.
oh, they're great dogs, but they thick boy, as the kids say. It either thinks my dogs are horses and dogs are dogs. I could see your dog showing up as like, no, that mule. Yeah. So, and when we're talking about machine vision, you also have to take into account the resolution of the cameras at which we're dealing with. And yeah, I could put an AI system into place that at arm's length from a camera, I hold up something and it goes, can. And if I've trained it, it even goes, Ninkasi, triple IPA, Megalodon. If I put this
over there,
you don't have a clue. There's not enough resolution. There's not enough depth of field in this image to determine what that is.
Also, imagine how many, then for the lens to have focus on all of that, how many objects are walking by, people, being distraction. What is it supposed to focus on?
Yeah.
And then even if it's trying to focus on everything, what's the computing power then for one camera to do that? When you're like, oh, my little mom and pop corner grocery store is going to have this, and how many people visit them, and what can they afford?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have a server that is better than Jeff's, basically, just for that to check out. And they're like, that's not worth it.
Yeah.
Also, what happens with depending on the place, you're probably going to have a protective glass over the camera so the lens doesn't get broken. Those get dirty, those get scratched, those get worn out and used.
Mm-hmm.
And that again, back to, you're going to need a user then.
Yeah.
So even with as much as actually what we're thinking about is pretty possible, because Vegas does probably a lot of this.
Oh yeah.
It's probably, out of everything, I would say Vegas, but every casino literally probably has a whole huge warehouse basement level of servers, computers, and still people monitoring every monitor that the AI is watching.
Yep. Do you know who does this on a scale that you wouldn't believe? Target.
Really?
Yes. Target, and actually as of late, Walmart has started doing this as well. Walmart has always had a huge amount of cameras in their stores and parking lots and everything else. But Target, and this is going back like 20 years. You can walk into a Target and you can steal something. I know they have a security officer planted at the front of every Target, but you can walk into Target and you can walk to the electronics section and you can put something under your arm and just walk out the front door with it. No one's going to stop you. But a couple of years ago, I say a couple, this is like 6-7 years ago. There was a Reddit post from a guy who said, I got arrested by Target for grand theft, for felony theft. And he used to steal DVDs and things and jewelry and watches and whatnot. And he would walk into a Target and he would just load up his jacket and he would walk right out. And he was like, I knew the cameras saw me, but I always parked away from the Target, and I made sure I would scope out the parking lot and make sure the cameras couldn't see my car, my license plate, and everything else. Until one day, he drove back to Target, and as soon as he walked through the door, there were two men standing there waiting for him. And they said, Mr. John Smith, and used his full name, and they said, you need to come with us. They walked him into a back room, and they had a folder about this thick. Because, and this is 7, 8, 10, 12 years ago, they use facial recognition in their stores. They keep track of every person that walks in, every transaction they've ever made, every interaction that they tie it back to, every bit of footage that they've ever had. They know when you're stealing. They're not going to prosecute you for stealing a DVD. They're not going to prosecute you for walking out with a toaster oven. What they do is they wait until it's a felony offense, and then they throw the book at you, because now they have a stack this thick of repeated offenses that they can go, yeah, put him away for 20 years. They knew his name. They had, like, his last 3 apartments. They had both vehicles that were in his name, who they were registered to. They knew his girlfriend. They knew his parents. They had a stack of every single SKU, every line item that he had ever stolen from them. And I mean, long story short, he went to jail for a while, and and then he got out and he made a Reddit post of like, I got arrested by Target and don't steal from Target. And that is exceedingly common. There's a lot of stores employing that policy now of, we're not going to risk, loss prevention getting hurt stopping someone, but we'll prosecute when we can actually do some damage to you. We're not going to make you spend 90 days in juvie. That's stupid. We'll prosecute you when we have a felony and when we know all of your accomplices and who you're selling to and all the pawn shops in town that are buying our stuff, and we can put an actual case together. Yeah, maybe don't steal from anybody. That's great advice.
Yeah.
I guess what we learned here is you can steal from Target, just keep it under $1,200.
There you go. So, my new gaming PC, I'm just going to go take
I am
Target.
not a lawyer. This is not legal advice. But that was 12 years ago. 7, 8, 10, 12 years ago, something like that. That they had that level of tracking per user on a pull-up basis down to that amount of a science. Imagine what they have today at every store, in every parking lot, for every car, every person that walks through, every bit of interaction. Businesses have been looking at security cameras for 40 years to map and algorithmize shopper behavior, to know where to place items and where we'll get more attention than others, and how should we do sales, and how should we route our stores, and things like that. We've been using this information forever, It's just we are so much better at it today of querying the information we've collected to give us exact data that we're looking for. That being said, there are still problems with the end case, with the end use case of simply what items did I put in my cart? And if I put those items in my cart, can I walk out the door with them and you just automatically charge me? Or can I place those items on an array of 4 webcams and a weighted sensor that you don't even have to scan barcodes, you can just identify them. But that also doesn't work for every single edge case of organic versus non-organic romaine head of lettuce versus, a really big lime or a really deformed avocado. It's not perfect, and machine vision will never be perfect. You're still going to need some human interaction. Now, you could probably reduce your load of cashiers, but you can't eliminate them.
Yeah. No, but even then, the cashiers, you're just creating different jobs because the cashier can't maintain the software or other parts, so you'd have to create other jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a different field. Like, what was it? They were saying AI will help farmers know how to, with some of the tools, how to plant crops properly, do droplets properly, test seeds, water, the moisture things. And that helps in terms of that type of thing, but you don't need as many employees then. But you're going to be creating a better yield, so you're going to need a different job in the way that harvests. So certain jobs might go away, but certain jobs are going to come about. I mean, horse stables were a huge thing. Then mechanics, then the car came out. Well, mechanics needed to become a huge thing.
Yeah.
It's just a different job. And so there's change, and don't be opposed to change, but it's hard if that's, I guess, your field, your expertise. I mean, you've been doing it for so long, but I think that comes back to what we were saying earlier. I don't foresee AI right now taking place of a major job. It is still a tool. It is still a small thing that you're still going to need human interaction with.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not really taking away like 100% of someone's job. It's probably making one person's job a little bit easier, so they're able to move the other 2 people to something else.
Yeah. Sean says, so does Target have better security officers and detectives than Apple circa the iPhone 4? Well, certainly better than the bar that the iPhone 4 was found in. But Apple has some of the best detectives in the world, and I just linked you a story from 2009 that I remember reading about the Apple Gestapo. And those words were very carefully chosen by the writer for that article. If you think Target is scary, Apple is scarier. Because Target has the cooperation of local law enforcement. Like most major retail chains, they establish relationships with the local law enforcement to deal with shoplifting and petty crime and things like that, and even major crimes that occur at the stores. They will have police officers do sweep through their parking lots. They'll do regular check-ins. They'll do things like that. Apple has like departments on speed dial. Apple Section 31. I want to know, Novella and Skull, did you both come up with that independently of each other? Because you typed it right back to back, and that's amazing. Yeah. Loss will always occur.
Yep.
And there is a certain acceptance of the price of doing business. But how high is that price? And how much of it being theft are you willing to just swallow? And how much of it being theft are we willing to swallow as consumers? Because if theft goes up, our prices go up too. Because companies still need to make their margins. And if they're sending 10 products to a store and 2 of them get stolen, not only is that 20% of no profit margin, but that's also a direct 20% loss of product that they manufactured that they didn't make any money on. Theft and breakage are bigger hits than anything else. Because it's not only not profit margin, but it's also potential not being in stock for other people to buy. So it's a big deal. The number being floated around recently is something like, in the United States, there's about $100 billion worth of shrink per year. That is theft, that is damage, that is lost in transit, that is any number of things. But $100 billion per year.
Yeah. What
are you in the Discord?
Oh.
Look at the Talking Heads Discord. Retzel, you son of a bitch. Do you know the loss meme?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was like, I don't get it.
I won't explain it, but Retzel said loss will always occur, and then you did an ASCII version of loss.
Oh.
It's a webcomic that is thoroughly hated. I think it gets more flack than it deserves. It deals with a very sensitive subject, and it was an artist expressing a moment of loss. Tim Buckley, not necessarily the greatest human being in the world, but I did used to read Control-Alt-Delete, and I read Control-Alt-Delete when Loss was published. In fact, I think I started reading Control-Alt-Delete maybe about a month into its publication. And so it was one of my Monday, Wednesday, Friday stops on the web when I logged in. I did stop reading around Loss, but that was for other reasons. But I do remember Loss coming out. Loss is a webcomic about the two main characters in the comic series. Lila and I don't remember the name of the other guy. But it deals with a miscarriage. And it's 4 panels, and it's no dialogue, and it's the main character running into the hospital and then checking in with a desk going like, where's my girlfriend? And then he walks into the room, and his girlfriend is crying in a hospital bed. And why that comic gets the amount of hate it does, I kind of understand. I got here to read funny tech comics, not deal with this. But I don't bemoan an artist at all for trying to deal with an emotional blow, a loss like this. If you've ever had a miscarriage in your life, if you've ever dealt with it on a personal level, that's some serious shit, and you all need to grow up and maybe have a little empathy. So, there's my loss rant.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Because it's actual, real. Okay.
Yeah. And it was dealing with a real life situation of Tim and his girlfriend having a miscarriage after thinking they were going to have a baby. And like I said, maybe Tim's not the most likable person in the world, and some stuff had come out about him within that year that aren't necessarily great. But God, grow a heart, show a little empathy, people. God. Jeff making a convincing argument defending loss was not something I had on my bingo card during my funny drinking show. Look, I'm just saying we're all people. Every single one of us is people. I'm also a father of 3. And while I haven't directly experienced that, I've experienced every emotion up to that point. I was talking to my 12-year-old daughter yesterday. We had a fairly grown-up conversation about drugs, alcohol, sex, interaction, like dating, like everything else. Like, you have those conversations. Yes, I know they're 12, but yeah, we had those conversations, and I'm very frank with my kids, because I don't want them to think I'm some beacon of truth and everything. Like, I broke it down the same way I just broke down the Lost comic. Look, I'm just a guy. I'm your dad. I know a lot of things. I've been fairly, moderately successful in my life, but at the end of the day, I don't have all the answers, and I'm just a dad. And I'm just a guy, and I'm going to make mistakes. And the best thing that I can do is acknowledge those mistakes and try to do better, but also acknowledge them with you. And when I make a mistake, I say I'm sorry, and I talk to you about it, because you're a person too. I've gotten angry a couple times in my life, and I've snapped, and I've done the dad thing of punching a wall. And you know what I didn't do? I didn't let my kids bottle that up, and I didn't bottle it up. I approached my kids 20 minutes later, and I said, that was really stupid of me. I lost control of my temper. I apologize. Is there anything we can talk about? Because that's not okay behavior, and it's not okay that they think that's okay behavior.
Yeah, you can't let them be like, you tell them to, no, don't act this way.
Right.
But it's okay for me to act this way.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's me having humility in front of my kids. It's me not being perfect, and that's totally okay. And in all intents and purposes, probably the better way to raise your kid is humility and empathy. We also had a conversation about, I'm going to keep this as impersonal as possible, but the education system of sex ed in schools and how illiterate men are when it comes to health related subjects for women. Because while we as men, when they separate the boys from the girls in 7th grade, and the boys go off and we talk about whatever, and we talk about getting smelly and aggressive, and then the girls go off and they tell you about menstruation and everything else that you're going to go through for the next 30 years. Men are explained the mechanics of that, but not the impact of that. And me as a father of multiple girls and living in a house with a lot of them, I've recently made sure that I've educated myself on the full impact of all of that, of not only like, oh yeah, you shed your uterine lining and you have to, wear a tampon or pads or whatever else, and you bleed once a month. Ha ha ha, it sucks. That whole process sucks. It's way more impactful than men think it is. And not only that, but the hormones and the maintenance of it and everything. It's a big deal. And women pretend it's not, and therefore men pretend it's not. It's a big deal. It's not a thing that is easy to deal with. It's not a thing you can forget about. It's not a thing you can ignore. And it's impactful, and it interferes with women's lives every 3 weeks. Like, it's not a little thing. And I explained to my daughter, like, over the last couple of years, I've made sure to educate myself on that. I've read books, I've watched videos, I've talked to people about really what that process is and involves, and all, because I want to be empathetic. I want to, I don't want to be the dad who goes, oh, she's just getting pissy because it's her day, it's her week of the month or whatever. Like, that's stupid. I also show empathy back. Like, oh, you're going through some things. Okay. How can I help? God forbid.
Yeah. Sounds like a great transition for me to get another drink.
Excellent. I just polished mine off, so I think you're right on time with that. Jeff constantly keeps chocolate on hand to keep and keep them throughout the household. I have chocolate stashes throughout the house, just in case. um, yeah, but we could all do with a little bit more empathy in every situation, and the writer behind Lost, Tim Buckley, he was just a dude who writes webcomics who was trying to process probably one of the most painful events he went through in his life. Sorry. What's your next beer, sir?
Well, everything kind of got a little serious and everything, but then I was like, all right, well, time for a serious beer then.
Nice.
So I'm gonna go with a little bit smaller ounce count, but a little bit higher ABV. This is a private press brew or a private release. So it's a Firestone Walker, and what they do is, they have the Parabola
Yes.
and all their box ones. Well, they used to have and I think they still do, like a members club to where once a year you could go there and the head brewer or the head cellarer, or a barrel age guy would make special bottles and he'd keep them there. And everyone that paid into the club got a brand special variant of all of these.
Mm-hmm.
Well, recently they started releasing them to the public, and so I got this one is Dividing Times. It is a 2023 barley wine barrel aged beer. It's the Brewmaster's Collector exclusive. So 13%, 40 IBUs. I don't have a barley wine style ale, but I do have one of these nice craft computing glasses.
There you go. Damn it, John. So now I'm looking down at my amber ale. I recently discovered these guys, Evasion Brewing, out of McMinnville, Oregon. They are a gluten-free facility. They do exclusively gluten-free beer. And actually they're pretty flippin' great at it. They've got an IPA, they've got a brown, they've got an amber, they've got a they've got a blonde, and they're all pretty darn solid. Like, I wouldn't have guessed it was gluten-free if it not been written like right there on the label.
Ooh, that's good.
But I have a Firestone barley wine upstairs, 12 ounce, that is suddenly calling my name.
Well, you can get it, and I can talk with the chat.
I think that's what's going to happen. Is I think you just talked me into a barley wine.
I know. It was just sounding good. All right, chat. We got a couple minutes. What should we talk about? Lack of empathy, chocolate. Yeah. All right, we avocados. It's 4-11. Yeah, everyone pretty much knows the SKUs for avocados. Although I hate avocados, they're horrible. No, it's not Morrowind time. It will never be Morrowind time on my show. It will be at least TNG drum solo. There we go. Let me grab my sticks. Oh, the amp's off. Sorry, too bad. Can't. Actually, this heat, I'm gonna have to redo the air circulation in here. Recently, there's been some heat waves in Oregon, and it has been blowing my fuses or switches, and I can't have my AC on right now. So it is very, very warm. Another reason why I wanted something comfortable to keep me going for. Battlefield Earth time. I need to play some more video games. All right. So I want video game recommendations for, I like first-person shooters or strategy wartime games. I need recommendations right now, favorite ones to just jump into, and you better not say like PUBG or anything like that. How should Star Trek handle AI? Well, they tried to, and they had SQL query prompts into it.
You could tell it was early release. So mine came in a box. I'm sure yours probably did too at one point. But I've been sitting on this one for a little while. The best part about this one is it cost me $9.89.
Oh, yeah. So was mine. That was the nice part.
Yeah. And when I say a while, I mean a while.
Oh, Eldorado 2017. I have a box of that.
Yep, I recently moved it from my cellar to my fridge because it's been calling my name for a while. And then you happened to grab a barley wine, and I went, well, dang it.
I actually thought this was a stout, and then as I was like, oh, it's a barley wine. Because all I saw was bourbon barrels. Like, all right, good enough. It's going to be a stout.
Yep.
And it's a barley wine. I was like, oh.
So Eldorado is a blonde barley wine, 12.8%. There you go.
Nice.
Drinking it in the same glass as you. So
hey, there we go.
Twinsies.
It tastes pretty darn good. 2007. Eldorado. Oh, see, yours gets a better. I have checked that one in, but yours gets a better rating than mine. 4.21, and I only get a 4.08.
Cosmer says that isn't the one that I from the place that I showed you, is it? It is actually. So I bought this about a month ago.
Oh wow.
With Cosworth. So he discovered quite the nice little beer store up by him, where. Remember our trip to the Corvallis homebrewer store?
Yes.
It looked like that.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, I walked out with just $90 in beer, but they were all like these. So gorgeous color.
I wonder if that's the same place he told me about.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Look at that.
Let's see. Let's try. I don't think it's not black enough for mine, but it's brown. Yeah, it's got a nice amber color to it.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, there we go. Great protagonist. Doesn't send the super chat, $2. Thank you, sir. Jeff MLK, when are you resupplying Napoleon coffee cream? I don't quite get that. Do you know what he's talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Cocktail recipe. I'm trying to remember the cocktail that he shared. Yeah. And I was out of Napoleon, and I was mad.
Anyways, next. What else we got? Or has anyone in chat got any good subjects we could talk about that's possibly not AI related? Oh, Jay's having a Nevada Hoptium Triple IPA, 11%. Oh no, he's debating. I would the revenge. No, I love the Hoptium Triple IPA. That one's great. Yeah. Hop and grape.
Yes, that's the place.
Yes.
Yep.
When were you around there? Because he told me about this place too.
Yeah, I was up there 3 or 4 weeks ago. And actually I'll be back up there this weekend. So I may swing by there and resupply.
Another $90.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, that's not super far, but where is that? That's not far. Oh, is it PDX Atlanta?
It's a little bit north of that.
Okay. Oh, yeah, okay, it's past Woodland.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, it's Ridge. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's up there. Okay. Yeah, it's a bit of a drive. I don't know if I'd be able to. Okay, it's by Kelso.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, it's a bit of a drive for me. For just like a beer trip.
Zeus wants to know, what are your thoughts on 1U servers and why should you buy them all from Unique Surplus, Unix Surplus, I'm assuming that is, and put them at a specific location with full fan speed? I'm all for it because I don't have to listen to it. I mean, I do have a 2U server at the location in which you speak right now, and I get yelled at because it's drawing 5 amps doing nothing. So he's going to be really mad when I turn that thing on full bore in about a week or so. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, moving on to some new AI stories. Maybe we'll tackle this from a slightly different perspective. 911 centers are so understaffed they are turning to AI to answer calls. I don't like this. For a number of reasons. The problem is, with so many AI deployment situations, we talked about this with retail, we talked about this with security, we're going to talk about this here, we're going to talk about it in another couple of minutes with the Taco Bell story. AI, in its current form, can probably handle 80% of customer interactions at a fairly competent level. The problem is, it is unable to handle 20% of customer interactions at any level. We were talking about, machine vision identifying a box. And John, every Firestone Walker box looks like this. So unless you get a read of Eldorado on the front, machine vision's not going to know this from 30 other boxes of Firestone Walker. And these boxes can vary in price from $10 to $130.
Yep.
So which one did I grab? Machine vision doesn't know unless it can get a very high resolution pic and confirm that. That's an edge case. Machine vision is very good at identifying objects. It can call a dog, unless that dog happens to be an English bulldog and doesn't fit into the parameters of dog.
Yeah.
That's an edge case. AI can probably hear and interpret your order at Taco Bell with an 85% accuracy to where I say I want a beefy crunch supreme burrito with no sour cream. It'll associate no sour cream with that thing. But if I complete an order and then go, oh, could I have no sour cream on the burrito? It might not know what to do with that statement. That's an edge case. 911 call centers are nothing but edge cases. You are dealing with people who are calling on potentially the worst day of their life in a situation they're not used to dealing with. Trying to relay information while high on adrenaline, which is not a great trait in humans.
Yeah.
Humans are astoundingly unreliable.
Well, so I know it says that this particular AI, what it's using, it's meant for non-emergencies. But you made a point, and I was like thinking about it at the beginning. Why do you call 911? It's an emergency.
Mm-hmm.
How does it determine from the very first sentence? Are you like clicking through a menu? No, usually with 911, it's boom, right away you're talking to someone and it's a dispatch. It's not your Comcast. How may I help you? Please select 1, 2, or 3, whatever it is. Oh, did you mean this? Did you mean this? Um, the one thing I did so that's hard to distinguish. How does it know? Does it reroute it? I will say I did think of something that this might actually be beneficial though if you are speaking in a different language and you're trying to speak English, it probably could understand that language
Mm-hmm.
and probably know. So there is a little bit of benefit right there, because let's say someone who's just visiting from another country hit someone, or they're immigrants or whatever it is, they
Mm-hmm.
have a thick accent.
Yeah.
Their grandparents came here broken English, and perhaps they speak the native tongue better than they do speak
Under
English, and they're
duress,
speaking that.
under duress, it's not unusual for someone to lose a
It
second
goes
language.
and it goes back and forth. Sometimes a lot of you will hear people splice in words, go from English to a second language or
Yeah.
the first language, back and forth, and the AI could help interpret that. However, yes, I do think, what is it? Do you have to then stay? Because to be in all honest, it's been a while since I called 911. But I remember what I got. It was direct, right to a live person. 911. What is your emergency? I mean, there's a whole TV show built on this, and that's the first line everyone says. It's supposed to get to you.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it knows it's a non-emergency phone call. Does the operator then say, "Oh, I'm going to transfer you," and then transfer you to the AI?
Right.
It's like, no, that doesn't sound very good either. So I would need to know more of how this is in practice, and just doesn't seem like the smartest thing.
Yeah.
This job as a call center sounds like it really should, in my opinion, be always human interactive and done by a human.
Yeah. How about we make
Um,
that an attractive job, and instead of investing in AI, we pay the staff what they're worth?
yeah.
And then you'll have plenty of people to work it. Just a thought. LLMs suck at picking up accents. Ask me how I know. For hello.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I mean, they make language models like that, though. I mean, that is something they're working on. I know that because there's the whole, someone's mentioned earlier in Star Trek, but it's like that is the interpreter. I mean, that is one thing AI is. People are working toward that, so that's what just made me think it.
Michael asked if that was a wine-induced accent, and Elmo said yes.
That's another thing. What if someone calls drunk and just like is slurring their words or has no idea what they're talking about?
Yeah.
Now maybe if AI was listening in on the conversation and could help prep and predetermine things, and say warn the operator, like, hey, I detected this, or the tone of this person seems to be this, without them having to ask extra questions. That's probably not a bad. That way it can help with the conclusion, or possibly direct them faster, or help them calm them down with points of like, talk about this, or helping with training.
I love that we understand as humans that 50% of communication is nonverbal. And then we are trying to fully interpret human communication strictly by interpreting verbal. What happens when a woman calls in and says, "I'd like to order a pepperoni pizza, please"? Ma'am, you realize this is 911. Yes, I would like a large.
Yeah.
How does an AI deal with that situation?
Yeah. No. Again, like I said,
My
I'd
address
have
is
to
blah
see
blah
this.
blah. Can you tell me when the delivery will
Yeah.
be here?
So
How does an AI deal with that situation? It doesn't. It doesn't know what to do with it.
although in theory, then it would be kind of funny if the operator did get that, and then she was able to transfer it to an AI, and it just kept it chatting while a police officer pulled it. And it's
Yeah.
like, you're abusing the system, ma'am. What was that?
I
There was
just
that.
Archer episode, ma'am.
What's that? It was the chat bot, the old man that keep telemarketers on.
Oh yeah,
Lenny.
Lenny.
Yeah.
I put a Lenny on our PBX system.
Did you?
I
That's
did.
awesome.
I had one running, and we recorded every interaction. We had like 300 of. We would transfer telemarketers to him.
Oh god, that's awesome. But yeah, if you can get like an AI operator or the operator being like, all right, we got to transfer to the Lenny line.
Yeah.
And it just keeps the person on the line.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious.
Lenny's extension was 0404.
Yeah, I should put one of those. I thought about putting that into our server and then suggesting to all of our trainers, oh, okay, before you guys can pass to the next level, you have to sell to this guy and get him to buy.
Yep. So how is your barley wine, sir?
You know, I like the first couple of sips. There is an aggressive, like, chocolate or char flavor from either the oak or it said it was made with Munich malt. I don't know if I'm liking it that much. It's very unique. It's very different. And I can see where it just gets a low 4 rating. It is definitely not a high praise. But it is unique in very drying in the afters. I get like a dark chocolate. That's what I think is dark chocolate. You know, that dark chocolate cacao where it starts drying your mouth. And that's what I'm getting in this. Very sweet bourbon up front, and the back end is very dry.
Very dry and harsh. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a Eldorado before, so I know what to expect. Incredibly smooth. Like dragon's milk level of smooth, but also 3% higher.
Yeah.
In fact, I've had the dragon's milk golden ale, and that's not all that unlike what's in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is candy.
I was gonna remember it being very sweet, honey.
It's butterscotch and honey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very honey-esque. But hold on. Yeah, those normal like blonde flavors are super rich. It, like I said, butterscotch, toffee, honey, but also just incredibly smooth, like the whole way through. There's no lull. There's no instance where it like drops off and becomes dry or bitter or anything like that. Whew. Allison says, Jeff still hasn't drunk the golden ale I mailed him months ago. Which one was that? Remind me. I'll put it in my list to make sure I do. I remember you sent me beer, Allison. They were all in my fridge. My fridge then died. So the beers that were in the fridge are actually on the floor behind me right now. Some of them went upstairs. And I thought I had drank all the ones that you sent me, but maybe not. So, yeah, let me know which it was, and I'll see if I can find it.
What, your Beernator blue?
Not the Beernator. No, okay. No, the Beernator, unfortunately, is slightly too loud to run in the office all the time. It would do great in the rack, and if I had room in the rack, I would put it in the rack just for the lulz.
So I was at a dinner with some Fortinet reps last week, and they were just talking about product, because I was with a salesman, but then an engineer, and they were talking about like, oh, if you guys ever had any product ideas, and I said, I got one for you. I got another. People already came up with it, but what do you think about a beer fridge mounted in your rack, possibly called a beerinator? And they looked at me like I was stupid. And I was like, that's the problem. There's a problem here.
You know what's funny is before the beerinator, I had actually considered purchasing a 13U rack mount wine fridge that does exist for $780. It was not cheap. It was not like the best unit, but they do exist. It was a full rack mount unit, and I wanted it.
Yeah, because I was like, dude, you guys can call it the 40 fridge. It's easy. It's easy marketing. No.
Exmoor Gold Ale. I don't remember that bottle. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I don't remember that bottle.
Exmoor Gold Ale. Oh, gold area. Okay.
Hold on.
Blonde, golden. Okay, well, Is it the gold ale, or is it a barley wine? Because the Exmoor Ales is a blonde, gold English ale.
No.
Oh.
It's not there. I do have a shelf out in my garage that is my cellar shelf. I will go check that. I don't remember seeing that bottle.
Oh, I sent my contact, Tavor.
Oh yeah.
Your information, and so they said they're going to be reaching out to you.
Sweet.
So you can get maybe a nice 6 or 7 pack from them for a quick shout out.
Yeah. Heck, if they want to do some advertisement on the channel, I'd be down with that as well. I think that would do quite well on the channel.
Yeah, I know that. Because I have been seeing they have been pushing on their social media side a very large amount, so I think they're trying to do a big push.
Yeah,
because there's a bunch of influencers, and they're just like foodies and travel people. They're giving it out to everyone.
Yeah, no, I think a Tavor 30-second pre-roll could do quite well repeatedly on the channel.
Plus they give you your own promo code, so it could be at Craft Computing, get 10% off.
Right.
So that's always a cool feather in your hat, being like, I have a Tavor code.
Right.
What do you have?
Right.
Go to put it on all of your business cards. Hey, for an extra 10% off beer, go here.
Novella says, waiting for Jeff to open these, the Shell's Brewery cave-aged barrel-aged beers. I do have those. We're going to open those on the 20th.
Ooh.
I'm going to give John 1 or 2 to take home, and we're probably going to open a couple on the show as well. So, he sent me a 4-pack of that. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah. The goal was to do an all-hands episode, like 20 episodes ago. And we tried. It didn't work. Yeah. So he sent us beer for an all hands episode.
Okay.
So yeah, I've got a 4-pack of that out in the garage. I don't know if we're going to be able to open like 4 bottles per person. We're going to have to look at like the Rye Way to Heavens. Those are 12 ounces. I imagine we'll open 2 of those cans.
Yeah, I don't think
we'll drink like 3 ounces each. Yeah. That's a good
beer.
Yeah. Well, heck, even at a 12 ounce, we could do 3 ounces each.
Yeah.
So we might open one of those cans. Because we're also going to open, I have a 2017 Anchorage Brewing Deal with the Devil Bomber 22 ounce.
Nice. Yep. No, and I'm bringing some interesting ones too of a Deal with the Devil blend that is aged in 17-year-old Pappy Van
Oh, it's the
Winkle
Pappy
barrels.
Bear. Oh God.
Yeah. So we'll open that. That'll be fun. that one will be an interesting. That's one of the $110 bottles. Bottle. 12 ounces. It's like, all right, everyone gets a sip of this.
The first full sponsored video I did on this channel, I'm afraid people will go like, why are you talking about them? You're only talking about them because they gave you money. And it's like, well, yeah, that's why you talk about people who give you money. How can I play this off? And I think it was Yian who sponsored a video. They wanted me to show off a gaming PC. And I went, Yian sponsored this video. And incidentally, this is a $100 bottle of beer. And I opened the Deal with the Devil on the video. And I drank a Deal with the Devil while filming that.
Yeah.
12 ounces of like 17% barley wine.
Yep.
And I was loose by the end of that video. I did give Rhett a snifter of it. I gave him an ounce and a half of it so he could sip on that while we were. He was buzzed when we finished that video.
So
I drank the rest of that bottle.
I'm looking at all the Deal with the Devil, and the lowest it gets is a 4.68. That's the lowest rating.
Yeah.
Any variant gets. Everything else is 4.8, 4.8, 4.75. We're talking, high quality stuff.
We're also going to be opening the Dragon's Milk D20 edition on the 20th. Yeah. We're hoping to start the show at 4 p.m. on September 20th. That is a Saturday. We're basically going to turn on my fire pit, and we're going to open some big beers, and we're going to talk until we run out of beer. That's the plan.
Yep.
So
bring your fun subjects to talk about.
Yes.
Hit them, save them for then. What is that? 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks. 2 weeks from Saturday.
2 weeks. So save maybe next Talking Heads will be boring, but save the good questions, good subjects, fun stuff for them.
No, next Talking Heads, I will be in North Carolina, and I will likely be talking with Tom Lawrence and probably Brett from 45 Drives. So that's going to be a fun show as well. $3.99 is going to be a good one.
Well, I meant like in the term of that tech, but as far as fun subjects, like just funny subjects.
Oh yeah,
that you want to see the four of us chit chat or argue or debate over.
Right.
Save those for the following one.
Yes.
Or you have time to come up with them.
Yeah.
You know what would be kind of fun.
Let us know some subjects that we should debate. But John, what do you got?
What if for like. I don't know the setup, and everything like this, but what if we could do something like via the Discord, if you had your laptop out there and hook it in, if we could have like people call in through the chat and it'd be a live, like, oh, they talked to us instead of just digitally typing and we have to.
I did that about a month and a half ago. I did a call-in show. You had to be a member of the Discord. Which you can only get on by being a member of the Patreon. My Discord is paywalled because it keeps the trolls at bay. If you're going to troll me, it'll cost you $1. But it also keeps the community engaged and wanting to be there. The only people who are there are the people who are willing to pay money. And that means the community is very, very good.
Yes, it is a good community.
Yeah. It is one of the most active Discords I've ever been a part of, and I am so incredibly proud to call it my own that I created this thing. Join the Patreon, link in the description. It's $1 a month. The way I do my Patreon is a per creation, but you can set a max monthly donation, and as long as you give $1, you get access to the Patreon. So it allows people who want to give $2-3 per creation, or $2-3 per month, or $20 a month. It allows you to give any denomination within that range. But anyone who gives any amount of money gets access to the Discord. It's an awesome server. We've got an amazing community that hangs out over there. It is active globally, which means basically at all hours of the day, people are talking. I wake up in the morning to threads that are 3 pages long because the Australians and New Zealanders were up late. Like it's great.
There's a buy sell. There is media stuff. It's not just, let's talk server stuff.
Right.
There's general chat. There's a whole chat just for talking heads. There's a food and beverage, movie stuff. There's music stuff. There's a whole meme humor page, which is great. You know, that's one of my personal favorite. That one and the drinking one.
Yes.
Two of my top faves. There's always fun stuff to see what people are selling. That's always fun to go and just like scroll through.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also, like Jeff said earlier, the private chat, the after show. If you want access to that, that is where we do live interactions every night. Those that can make it. I haven't been there for a while, but you know, life gets busy. But I was thinking, we could probably do something like that. I think that would be kind of fun for like, 30-40 minutes.
We did do a call-in show a couple of weeks ago where I misscheduled a Talking Heads. I thought I had a host, and then it turns out I didn't. I read a message wrong from one of you guys, and I went, oh crap, no, they're not even in the state. Oh crap, what do I do? So I went, I'm just going to do this solo. Like I had 10 minutes to go and I had 10 minutes to figure this out. So I contacted our mods over at the Discord, Skull and Rev, who are our normal mods for Talking Heads. And I said, I'm thinking about doing something weird. I'm thinking about opening it up to questions, but doing like a radio call-in show where you guys can screen. You guys can talk to people and say, what question are you going to ask? And then you can move them into a private chat with me.
Yes.
Where they can just ask me a question. I can talk to them like it's an old phone show, and then I can kick them back when I'm done. I've always thought of this as a radio show anyway, and that was just like next level. It was so much fun to get some of my longtime viewers on the channel. So that might be a fun little thing to do for me, like an hour. Like we'll open it up at a certain hour for Discord questions.
Yeah, that would be, I think it would be really fun for like the first hour, us. And then we open up a beer and we get a little loose. You know, we're all loosened up by then. Yeah. The jokes of the personal jokes and stories have all flown, and then we can get the Discord involved. That would be fun.
Yeah.
So.
Terrapop says it was a great show. Thank you. Yeah, I thought it turned out great for how little planning went into that one. But again, shout out to my amazing mods over on the Discord. There's Skull and Rev, who are the normal faces that you see over on the YouTube channel. But there's also Funky Monk, who handles the podcasting of the show and syndicates that out to all the different podcast handlers. There's ID Prom, who is actually also my developer of OpenViro. There's Claw, who handles our Norwegian time zones. So he's kind of our late guard, handling that kind of stuff. Lots of awesome people over there. And then there's Yocto. Yocto is also one of our mods over there as well. And one of these days I need to get Yocto on the show, because I think he'd be fun to chat with as well. Jeff needs a confession hotline. Ooh. We're going back to like Loveline / confession line. That might be fun, is to queue up some voice recordings of people. So see if we can capture some voice chats of like, what's the most egregious gaming PC rule breaking thing you've ever seen? What is the jankiest mod you've ever seen that works? What is the worst failure you've experienced as a sysadmin?
Yeah.
What's Skull says tech sins? Yeah, what's the worst tech sin you've committed? That could be a fun one to go on, and that could spur some conversation within us as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I almost wonder if we could come up with some games for us to play.
Oh yeah.
You know, not necessarily like because being like, oh, we're tech mods or anything, but just in general, like maybe submitted from the Discord and we got to vote on something or tell stories or something embarrassing or you know whatnot. That would be kind of fun. You know, it almost would be kind of fun to do a little bit more pre-planned out show.
Yeah.
Instead of 3 hours of us, we're just talking. What's going on?
Yeah,
you know?
I'd like to do because it's probably going to be a 4-hour show. I imagine we will go 4 to 8. So I'd like to have like hourly things.
Exactly. That would be, you know, you did 1 hour. Obviously, we have plenty for us to do 1 hour of BS.
Right.
That's easy. We do it all the time just by chit-chatting on our personal private chats.
Yeah.
And then you could do an hour of call-ins, then you do an hour of let's do games or personal confession, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And then we can do something else. Who knows?
Yeah.
Or free for all. Who knows?
Yeah.
That would be fun.
That'd be a lot. Yeah. Let's brainstorm that a little bit and kind of try to plan that out as far as you know, either every hour or 45 minutes or something like that. Like we switch on to another subject or topic or something. Keep it loose. Keep it fun. Jackbox.
That would be a fun.
That'd be a fun one.
That would be a fun. I wonder if we can almost do like a Jackbox or stream like Mario Kart. You know,
yeah,
all of us Mario Kart or Smash Bros. Or you know some game. We can go classic. We can go back to the Duke Nukem. That was
fun. Yeah,
or Unreal or whatever. You know, all of us playing that. Something we can all just bust a quick laptop out.
Yeah,
and then just be like, all right, here we go.
Yeah. Mario Kart might be fun. That might be an easy one that we could do.
Yeah.
Because that would just be
single switch,
one switch, 4-player on a single screen, and we could just broadcast that out. That'd be super easy to do.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like logistically, how do we get 4 laptops with 4 copies of Duke Nukem all to stream simultaneously onto the same screen with our faces on screen still?
I'm just spitballing out here, you know. No, but the Mario Kart, you know, you do a 5-screen.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, the 4 of our heads. And but then you need 4 cameras. Or it literally could just be a wide angle shot of
No, I figured just a single wide angle shot. And we can, you know, crop in on where we're supposed to be in a general area.
Yeah.
And create a visual scene for that. So that wouldn't be too difficult at all.
No, that wouldn't.
Yeah, a Jackbox would be kind of fun. So we display the screen, the question up on the screen, and then we can use our smartphones to buzz in or whatever else.
Yeah. That would be fun.
Yeah. What's really fun is I was around, I mean, you probably were too, but I remember the original You Don't Know Jack.
You Don't Know Jack, yeah.
Games. I have them all. I've got like a dozen CDs out in my garage of the You Don't Know Jack games. Which is really funny because I have like a You Don't Know Jack Sports Edition, which is completely out of date. Because it's like, who's the passing leader in the NFL? And it's like, who the hell is...
what year are you talking about?
Right.
You know? That record was broken 3 times already.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Matthew Stafford broke that record in 1 season. Like, yeah. Lowest number of Super Bowls. Well, the Saints won 1, so you know they're on the list finally. But you know, yeah, it's funny how much changes in sports over 20-25 years.
Oh, I know. It's like how many Super Bowls have the Seahawks won? Well, they've only appeared 1 time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, they've only won 1 and appeared 3.
Yep.
Tomorrow starts. Woo!
Woo!
Looking forward to
Football!
that.
It's
Finally.
back!
I know my wife came up to me the other day and she was like, "How did I become someone who hated football to watching an Allstate commercial, and then now is more obsessed with it than I am?"
Right.
I was like, "This is great."
So I used to play
all-
I used to play fantasy all the time, and I
Yeah.
just haven't had the time or even like during the week, like choosing your starters, like that's 20 minutes I don't have time for right now. I
Yeah.
would love to play, I don't have time. My sister decided to join a league and join a fantasy league, and so I helped her
Why
on
have we
her
never
draft.
done this on the Discord? Why have we never done this?
Why have
on
we
the
never done a
Discord?
fantasy football on the Discord? That is a great question.
All right, next year. We should probably do it next year.
We have time if we want to do a draft tomorrow. Although,
I mean,
Rev, it would probably be up to you.
Yeah.
Getting this all together, like Rev, if in the next 24 hours you can create us a page, send us a link, and we can draft our players. We'll do a fantasy league this year.
I mean, I'd be down. I don't know if Steve or Rhett, but I mean, I'd be down, and we could do that. But that would be so much fun. I mean, we do have a whole sports section, in the Discord, so and it's pretty active. So there's enough people. I know that, or even with just the mods and the hosts would be fun. But
Zach says, why would a bunch of nerds want to do math and shit? But no, my sister joined a league for the first time. She's never done fantasy before, and so I helped her on her draft.
Oh, nice.
Was it last weekend? No, it was 2 weeks ago. My sister and I went to see Taylor Tomlinson in Portland.
Oh.
And
really?
That was a heck of a lot of fun. We saw her in the late Saturday show. Fantastic. She's one of my favorite comedians. But on the drive up there and during dinner, because we drove up there way early, and then we wanted to get dinner before. And during the drive up there and during dinner was the draft process for her league. And so we're like going through dinner, like scrolling through players and picking, and it was amazing because every time I would add a player to my watch list of like, oh yeah, if they're still available, we need to grab them next, the person before us would grab that person. So I swear to God, someone was reading my mind.
It was probably Google listening to you.
It might have been, but it really felt like the person who drafted immediately before my sister had a direct tap on us. Because
like, I know exactly what. Yeah,
right. It was, Cooper Kupp is still available, and I know he's on the Seahawks now, but they've got a young quarterback and not much of a running game. They're probably going to be throwing a lot. Cooper Kupp's going to be a reliable receiver. If he's in the third round, we friggin' take Cooper Kupp. And then the pick before us was Cooper Kupp, and it's like, mother.
Yeah.
And this is why I don't do fantasy football anymore, as I get too invested in it.
Yeah, I know, because you have to have like 3-4 people deep sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what am I gonna do? What's my strategy? And you can just randomize it. All right, but no, yeah, what we could do, it would be great. To enter, you gotta throw a bourbon barrel aged beer in. Winner gets it all.
Oh, that's a good one.
Winner gets, so everyone just single bottle, that plus shipping, that's your entry to be in the league.
Rev, if you're still listening, here's what we need to do. Okay? We need to get everyone who wants to enter the fantasy league to send either me or you a bottle of a bomber of a bourbon barrel aged something. Of a barrel aged something.
Something.
Okay?
Yep.
And then we put a box together. And the winner of the league gets the box.
Gets the box. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. That's your submission. It's not just a free for all. It's at least
Rev says he can make this happen. probably.
I'm down.
I'm in. So Rev,
Whether I win or lose, that'd be fun.
If by tomorrow morning, let's say tomorrow at 8 a.m., you can come up with a sign-up list or a link to follow to register for the draft.
Oh man, the draft would be so fast.
It's going to be quick. This is going to be something quick because it has to happen before Thursday at 5.
Yeah.
And so if by 8 a.m. you can send a registration link to the Discord for the draft with a registration fee of 1 barrel-aged something.
Yeah.
I will handle the collection, and I will get you or maybe even me. Maybe I'll just handle the collection. You can send to my PO box, and then I'll ship out.
It can't be international, probably,
right,
though.
But the draft is going to have to be like tomorrow at 2.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 would be good.
Yeah. Is there a particular platform we want to use? Let me ask my sister what platform they use.
3, 4, 5, 6. What is that? 7 o'clock East Coast time? 6 o'clock? So yeah, what's say 6 o'clock East Coast time? 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 is 5 p.m. Eastern. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty quick, and so
yeah. Well, I would say to keep it fair, 3, because that way people on the East Coast would be getting home.
Yeah.
That way it's 6 or maybe 5:30, so 2:30.
Yeah.
2:30, so that we're not interrupting that typical dinner hour, and the West Coast, we're just gonna have to take our 15-minute break at work.
Right.
At the time.
Yeah.
Mid you're screwed.
Yeah, we may be too late to do this, especially with football starting tomorrow, although we might be able to do like a Friday draft, and sure, the first couple of picks are probably going to get points from Thursday, but that's just is what it is.
And that doesn't include the whole season. That ain't going to do anything for the whole season.
That's not going to do anything for the whole season. Who's playing Thursday?
Yeah. Isn't it Kansas City and It's Cowboys?
Oh, it's Cowboys and Eagles. Okay, so Eagles.
So Eagles.
Yeah. I mean,
but
Eagles
Cowboys,
defense.
Not really.
Eagles defense. That's going to be a hell of a pick.
Defense and their receivers,
especially against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
You got Saquon on the Eagles for offense. You've got you've got
running back. So
yeah. Okay. So if we have to drift into Friday for the draft, there might be some unbalanced picks, or maybe even Saturday for a draft. We'll discuss a time that works for the draft.
Yeah, if you can set it up. I mean, this what do we need? Like minimum 6, probably. The 6-man draft is probably the bare minimum that would need to sign up too. I mean, yeah, anyone that picks the Cowboys basically already lost. Unless this is like golf and the lowest score wins, then yes, pick the Cowboys.
Yeah. Nobody likes the Cowboys. That's just science. Way too many people like the Cowboys, statistically.
America's team.
Although most of them became Chiefs fans a couple years ago.
Yep. Dak's not Dak anymore, so.
I never bought into Dak.
Dak was the year. It was the I think it was his first year after Tony Romo went out, and he came in. Or no, it was the year after that.
Yeah,
they went like 10 whatever,
10-6,
and they got 10-6, and they got kicked out the first round. And Dak was just laughing off the field, thinking like, "Oh, we're gonna be back next year," and they just have been gotten their bust. Yeah. Like, this guy's smug. Yeah, I don't like him. So,
can I just say, the Lions have been to more NFC title games in the 2000s than the Cowboys have.
Oh yeah, Oh yeah, no, how about the Cowboys defense or not? Lions defense is going to be great this
Oh
year as long
God,
as what's
God, if they can
Hurts.
stay the
If they can
lion,
stay healthy,
the Lions last year became known as the Legion of Whom,
yeah.
not the Legion of
Uh,
Boom, the Legion of Whom.
who was
Um,
well? What was that? Well, he wasn't a rookie last year. He was just 2 years ago. But the guy that got hurt, for their
oh, Hutch,
defense, Hutch. Yes,
yeah,
Hutch.
yeah.
Dude, that
Oh,
guy
oh, he's
is just
back.
dominant. Yeah, he's back, dude.
Yeah,
Dominant. Oh
yeah,
man, if he's anything like he was last year, they're
yeah,
gonna have a phenomenal defense.
yeah. I mean, the Lions pulled up like what, a number 8 defense, literally rolling in guys off the practice squad.
Yeah.
Um,
No.
every single week we would lose a linebacker, and then we'd roll up a guy from practice squad reserves. We would sign a guy, put him in practice on Thursday, he would play on Sunday and then blow out his ACL, and we'd do it again. And we were the 8th rated defense in the NFL last year.
I know. I was telling my wife, I was like, the Lions mentality now, the culture that they built is literally they have really stepped up the next man up.
Next
like,
man up.
We don't
Right.
care. Next man up, you perform, and they do perform. It's amazing. I like Dan Campbell's culture that he puts around there.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Novella says, can the Lions recover the loss of their offensive and defensive coordinators? I think they can. I think the defense is actually going to be a bigger step back than people anticipate, but with the defensive talent that we have, I think it's going to be okay. As long as the scheme is sound, I think it's going to be okay. The offensive one, I think, is overblown because most of the offensive scheming was Dan Campbell. It was not Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson called the plays, but Campbell does the schemes. And a lot of the scheme is still going to be the same. So I don't think there's going to be much of a step off. That and the personnel on the offense really didn't change at all year over year.
No, I don't.
The
really
only
see
person
the
who
Bears
scored a
being any better.
touchdown for the Lions that is no longer on their 52-man roster is Dan Skipper, who moved to their practice squad. Dan Skipper caught a touchdown as a left tackle. He's the only offensive player who scored a touchdown last year who is not back on the offense this year.
Yeah.
So
I don't. If I recall, it wasn't Ben Johnson who came up with all the trick plays. It was all the other players or other lower staffers. They came up with all the trick plays.
Yeah.
And it was Dan Campbell just said, let's do it. Let's do it. I mean,
yeah.
The one thing you can always say though is don't get the Lions kicker because he's not going to be used.
Yeah. Oh, Jake Bates. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. He's never going to be used.
Stupid, sexy Jake Bates.
So, just don't use him. Don't pick him. I mean, what am I saying? No, pick him. Pick him.
Jake Bates is my sister's profile picture for her fantasy team. Him rolling his hip on the baseball in the field, going, it's that.
How many? I mean, other than the extra point, what does he kick? He's never kicked any like a field goal.
I mean, you say that, but he drilled a couple 52-pointers last year or 52 yarders last year. Like, yeah.
Well, did you see? Who was it? What team was it? Was it the Vikings that did that 70-yarder during the preseason? Who did that 70-yard field goal during the preseason?
Jaguars.
Jaguar,
did the 70-yard bomb.
And it looked good for like another 5 to 10 yards.
Yeah.
That was impressive.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh. And everyone is going into now all domes, no wind. We're going to start seeing more field goals like that in the next 5 years. 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
I'll guarantee it.
There are a number of kickers in the league who have that leg.
Yeah, exactly. I think that is definitely going to be a thing. I think we're going to see more kickers. So I know every year my wife asks me, it's like, well, what's the new rules now? I was like, well, the kickoff rule is here and this is that. And she's like, I don't care about the rules. That's so dumb. And I was like, yeah, I kind of agree. I like college is faster paced, but it's not as much running game in college. It's mostly, receiving.
Yeah. Unless you're running against Alabama and then there's 285 yards worth of it.
This is true. Actually, anyone that runs against Oregon usually wins.
No, last couple years Oregon's run defense has been really stout.
Really? Yeah, I
Yeah.
just remember every time Oregon would get. And I think I only watched the last game or the last year's playoff or not playoff game, but bowl game. But other than that, every
Oh,
bowl
we
game I
we
ever
got
watched.
creamed by Ohio State, and
Yeah, I know.
the
And
look, I'm not an apologist in any way. I am a lifelong Oregon fan. I will totally own that. Uh, there is an issue with college football with playing your final game on November 28th and then playing your first playoff game on January 3rd.
yeah,
Like,
I mean, like,
that's
oh wow,
too
you have a
long without
month and a
game
half of
action.
rest. Yeah.
And if you notice, there was a first round for the playoffs, with the top 4 teams earning a bye. All of the home teams won the playoff matchups, and then all of the teams who played the week prior won the second round matchups. So,
Well, and that's why I like bye weeks. I don't always in the NFL like everyone times to get a bye. I was like, I don't know. That's not necessarily a good thing.
yeah.
Other than injury, that's all it really does. But a lot of times players don't have the energy to go again. But for some reason, I've always thought anytime, well, this was back when they were in, the Pac-12.
Mm-hmm.
Pac-12 never had big body running backs to defend against. And anytime they went against someone in like the 10 or anywhere else that had decent sized running backs, they would just plow right through them.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a run game. It was like, oh, the offense key to beat Oregon was just run, run, run. And if you had a decent passing game, you'll beat Oregon every time.
Depends on the year. Oregon has struggled
what
against
I mean
the
is
run.
majority of the years recently in recent Duck history. By that I mean 10 years.
See, I'm a longtime Duck fan, and the last time a team boasted that they were going to run all over Oregon and their Pac-10, dainty looking offense and defenses and whatnot, was the 2001 Fiesta Bowl against Colorado, in which Colorado ran for 52 yards.
No, wasn't it? Was it? Well, was Washington in the Pac-12?
Yeah, Washington Pac-12, Oregon Pac-12.
All right, yeah. So then it would have been the Rose Bowl. But anytime there was a lot of times with like Washington, they would. I don't know. It may have been
Washington lost 17 straight games against Oregon, so it probably wasn't them.
Yeah, it probably wasn't them. But and I'm not referring to last year,
right?
But I'm not a avid college bowl guy to watch. It's more of like, oh, it's Saturday. Oh, the Oregon game's on. Oh, it's on the network. I can watch it instead of the Pac-12 because I didn't have Pac-12.
Neither did I. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, okay, it's on. Oh, now I can watch it because it's on the main channel because they're playing one of the top 10 teams.
Yeah.
So it's on a mainstream channel. So I'll have it on. And just seemed that anytime, like, whatever team ran, had a decent running game, was just beating Oregon. But it was mostly only playoff games because I remember always being like Black Friday. Well, Black Friday was the Civil War game.
Yeah.
But it was always after it. So it was always a bowl game of some kind of bowl game or the Rose Bowl if they had a decent running game. But again, not a big fan. So my history is like 1, 2, maybe 3 games.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think statistics agree with you, but
that's probably and that could be it.
Yeah.
Oregon's always seemed to be more of a passing offense and a passing defense, in my opinion.
They have been actually a running offense more than anything for a very long time. It's just they are a spread run game. They are reminiscent of like the Georgia Tech triple option, where it is not necessarily about misdirection, but it is about getting playmakers into positions where they can do the most damage. And so for a while during like the Chip Kelly era, they would be every single play was a run pass option. The quarterback can keep it, can hand it off, or can throw it. And run, keep, throw was based entirely on the movement of the linebackers and the tackles on either side of the line, depending on the direction of the play. And so if a linebacker crashes inside, you push the ball outside. If he crashes outside, you snake it through the middle. If the tackle, the defensive tackle shoots, super far outside, now the quarterback can keep it and has a gap that he can hit for an easy 7 yards.
Yeah.
If the linebacker drops back into coverage, then you can either snake it out to the outside or you can throw above his head. Like, every single play was designed to take advantage of a player being out of position in a decision that he couldn't win. But since the Chip Kelly era, every team has evolved to be able to defend that. And so now it's gone back to you either run downhill or you drop back to pass as your primary mode of offense. And say for 1 year 2 years since 2000, Oregon's won that battle more often than not.
Yeah.
So, all right. Before I dive too much into college talk, because I will talk football all day.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a big college guy as much as you are. It's like, but I like it.
Yeah.
I like football or sports. Any kind of close game.
I watch,
doesn't matter the sport. I'll watch this is riveting. It's close.
Oh yeah. I love sports in general, except baseball. I hate baseball. I can't stand baseball.
I say the same thing. I say I love playing baseball, but I can't stand watching it.
I love playing baseball. I will go to a baseball game. I will not watch baseball on television.
No.
It's one of the most boring things, regardless of whether or not you have a rooting interest.
I find golf more interesting than baseball.
I find volleyball more intriguing. I find softball more intriguing than baseball.
At least with volleyball, there's like constant high-speed hits.
Yeah.
And you just never know what's going to happen.
Volleyball is great. I like watching soccer. I like watching the World Cup every time it happens.
Yeah.
I find that anticipation more engaging than I do baseball. And I think it's because baseball has so many procedures and unwritten rules.
Yeah.
Policy that you follow and expectations of the old gentleman's game that it is.
Yeah.
That I don't care that someone threw inside. I want you to throw a pitch that wins. And if you get into a pissing match of who can throw closer to the batter or whatever, I don't care. I don't care about the mental game of baseball. I don't care about the unwritten rules of baseball. What I want to see is someone hit it over the frickin' wall. Yeah. And if you can't deliver that every game, and if it takes 3.5 hours to do it, I'm not interested. Soccer, I can understand the chess match that soccer is. Hockey, I can understand the chess match that hockey is. I can understand the offense and defense playing off each other, and even in a non-scoring game, I understand the physicality and the strategy involved.
Yeah.
Baseball's one-on-one 99% of the time, and it irritates me.
Oh, yeah. No, like I said, I like playing it. Because when you're playing it, and especially minor league or friendly, it's much more of that fast-paced group on group, because there's constant heckling from within the teams, and that was always fun. But as far as watching it in Major League, like, other than going to the game, drinking beer and having a hot dog, but half of that game, even then, you're just talking with people around you. You're not watching the game. Son of a...
John, I can tell it's been a little over 2 hours because your camera has decided it's time for night.
Oh my gosh. Yep. All right. Oh, that's actually kind of worked out for me. So... no,
a battery exhausted.
Well, there we go. I think it's a great segue.
That is a perfect segue. Hey, so we haven't officially confirmed with everyone. We're waiting on one member of Talking Heads, but go ahead and put September 20th at 4 p.m. into your calendar for an all hands show in which we will open every amazing beer that we have. That's going to be fun. In the meantime, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Craft Computing if you haven't done so already, subscribe to Hops and Brews if you like the beer content on this channel. I know you are. And you can even see occasionally me over on Hops and Brews. John, we have a couple reviews we need to film next time you're over. Probably on the 20th. I'm going to be incapacitated.
Well, you know, maybe what we should do is for the audience, we'll film a Hops and Brews episode that they can watch us film.
I thought about that. I thought about that as well, actually. Because I still have a computer I need to build you.
Yeah. So
I have a computer and I have like 2 beers in my fridge that are awaiting a review, and I know you have a couple of beers that are awaiting my review in your fridge. So
I know I was then about to suggest I come early, but I was like, man, no, we can't do that. We will be smashed.
I am not pre-gaming that show.
That's a show.
That's going to be a good one. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Join the Patreon. Link is down in the video description. Minimum donation of $1 a month gets you exclusive access to my Discord server where you can chat with myself, John, Rhett, Steve, all the hosts from Talking Heads, and join the awesome community that hangs out over there. I think that's about it. New video coming up in the next couple of days. I've got a fun little PC that I'm running through some paces over here on the desk beside me. Is dual GPU back? There's your spoiler. And that's going to do for me in this one, and John in this one. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, we'll see you next week. Cheers, everyone.
See you guys.
John did this too. I'm sure.
I did it. I did do it.
I'm positive of it. He had to have.
That's what it's yep.
Yeah.
Good
Good
night,
night,
the thumbnail. See you guys.